What if a place could dream? What if its dreams were carved into stone, painted across the night sky, whispered on the wind? Imagine a land where mountains tear through the clouds like ancient gods and water, dark as a starless night, slices deep into the earth. This is not a fairy tale. This is Norway, a place so dramatic, so overwhelmingly beautiful. It feels as if it were imagined by something greater than ourselves. We look upon these landscapes and see more than just rock and water. We see a story, an epic poem written in the language of ice and light, a saga that began long before humanity ever set foot here. This is a journey into that dream. We will travel to the very edge of the world, where the land meets an endless sea. We will stand on cliffs that plunge thousands of feet, feeling the raw power of nature vibrate through our very bones. Have you ever wondered what it feels like to sail through a crack in the earth? To witness a river of green light dancing above your head? These are not just sights to be seen. They are moments to be lived, experiences that change the way you see the world. This journey promises to take you to those moments, to places that defy belief and ignite the imagination. The story of Norway is one of constant surprise. Just when you think you have seen its most breathtaking view, another one appears, even more spectacular than the last. It is a land of impossible contrasts. Here, the sun can refuse to set for months, bathing the landscape in a golden glow that never fades. And in the darkness of the long winter, the sky can erupt in a silent explosion of color. We will chase these lights and follow this sun, exploring a world where the rules of day and night seem to bend, creating a reality that feels both alien and profoundly beautiful. Our exploration will not just be of places, but of feelings. We will seek the quiet solitude of a hidden valley, where the only sound is the rush of a distant waterfall. We will feel the thrill of navigating a road that twists and turns like a serpent up a mountainside. We will experience the warmth of a small village tucked away from the modern world, a place where time seems to move a little slower. This is an invitation to feel the pulse of Norway, to connect with its wild heart, and to discover the secrets it holds for those who are willing to look closer. This is not a tour of famous landmarks. This is an expedition into the unknown. While we will visit the iconic fjords that have captured the world's imagination, we will also venture far from the beaten path. What lies beyond the last stop on the ferry? What secrets are hidden down that unmarked trail? We will seek out the hidden gems that most travelers miss. The secluded coves where seals play in the surf. The ancient forests that feel enchanted, the viewpoints known only to the locals who live here. This journey is about discovering the real Norway, the one that doesn't always appear on postcards. Prepare for a constant sense of wonder. Every 20 seconds, a new question will arise. What created these colossal waterfalls that seem to fall from the heavens? What myths were born in the minds of the people who first saw the sky light up with the aurora? Is it possible to sleep in a tiny farmhouse perched on the edge of a fjord, miles from any road? We will answer these questions and more, peeling back the layers of this incredible country to reveal fascinating facts, forgotten history, unexpected twists. This is a story designed to spark your curiosity at every turn. We will follow roads that seem to float on water and climb trails that lead to the roof of the world. We will glide through mirror-still fjords in a silent kayak and feel the spray of the Atlantic Ocean on our faces. This film is built on a promise to show you something new, something surprising, something magical in every single scene. Using state-of-the-art drone technology and intimate camera work, we will give you a perspective on Norway that has never been seen before, placing you right in the heart of its most awe-inspiring moments, from the grandest vistas to the smallest details. So, lean back and let go. Allow yourself to be transported to a land of giants, a place where nature reigns supreme. This is more than just a documentary. It is a sensory experience. You will hear the thunder of crashing ice, feel the chill of the Arctic air, and see colors you never knew existed. By the end of our journey, the opening question, what if a place could dream, will no longer be a question. You will have seen the dream for yourself, and you will understand that some places are not just beautiful, they are alive. Welcome to Norway. Our journey begins where the land gives way to the sea. But this is no gentle coastline. This is a landscape fractured and torn, a place where the ocean has pushed its way deep into the heart of the mountains. These are the fjords of Norway. They are immense sea-filled valleys, carved by colossal glaciers over millions of years. Imagine rivers of ice, miles thick, grinding their way through solid rock, sculpting cliffs that would later tower over the water. When the ice finally retreated at the end of the last ice age, the sea rushed in to fill the void, creating these spectacular deep blue waterways that define the nation's edge. Looking at a map of Norway's western coast, it appears shattered, as if a giant struck the earth and it splintered into 1,000 pieces. This intricate network of fjords stretches for thousands of miles, a labyrinth of water and stone. The scale is almost impossible to comprehend. Some fjords are over 100 miles long, and their cliffs can rise nearly a mile straight up from the water's surface. The water itself is incredibly deep, often plunging to depths of over 4,000 feet. This is a world of verticality, a three-dimensional landscape where immense height and profound depth meet in breathtaking fashion. But how were these incredible structures formed with such precision? It was the sheer weight of the ice that did the work. As glaciers moved, they didn't just scrape the surface. They quarried the land, plucking huge blocks of bedrock and carrying them away. The ice followed existing river valleys, deepening and widening them into the classic U-shape we see today. It is a slow, powerful process of creation through destruction. The fjords are scars left behind by a colder, more formidable world, a permanent reminder of the immense power that nature holds to reshape the very face of our planet. To stand at the edge of a fjord is to feel a sense of geological time. You are looking at a masterpiece that took millions of years to complete. The air feels different here, charged with the energy of the mountains and the ancient stillness of the deep water. It's a place that commands respect, a place that makes you feel small in the grand scheme of things. As we venture into these colossal sea canyons, we are not just exploring a location, we are traveling back in time, witnessing the raw, untamed beauty of a world freshly carved by ice. The best way to truly understand a fjord is from the water. We board a ferry, a small vessel that will guide us through these monumental gateways. As we pull away from the shore, the sounds of the modern world begin to fade. They are replaced by something else entirely, a profound and echoing silence. The water is often as smooth as glass, a perfect dark mirror reflecting the sky and the towering cliffs above. The boat glides forward, its engine a soft hum in the vast quiet. It feels less like sailing and more like drifting through a flooded cathedral, a sacred space carved by nature itself. The sheer cliffs rise on either side, so close it feels as if you could reach out and touch them. They are not smooth, uniform walls of rock. Instead, they are textured and alive, draped in veils of green moss and dotted with hardy trees that cling to impossible ledges. Waterfalls, thin as silver threads, cascade down from unseen heights, their spray creating a fine mist that hangs in the air. Every few minutes, the view changes as the fjord bends and turns, revealing new angles, new peaks, new wonders. It is a slow, meditative journey that allows you to absorb every detail. But what secrets do these silent waters hold? Below the surface lies another world. The water is a mix of fresh water from the melting snow and salt water from the sea, creating unique conditions. This brackish layer on top often gives the fjords their characteristic dark, non-reflective appearance. Beneath it, the cold, clear salt water is home to a surprising array of life, from deep-water corals to unusual species of fish that have adapted to this dark, low-oxygen environment. The silence above the water belies a hidden ecosystem thriving in the crushing pressure of the depths below. This journey is a lesson in perspective. From the deck of the ferry, a lone farmhouse perched high on a cliff ledge looks like a tiny doll's house. A waterfall that seems gentle from a distance reveals its thunderous power as you draw closer. You begin to appreciate the scale not just with your eyes, but with all your senses. The air grows cooler as you pass into the shadow of a mountain, and the sound of a seabird's cry echoes endlessly between the stone walls. Sailing here is to be humbled, to be reminded of our small place within a world of giants. We arrive at one of Norway's most famous fjords, the Geirangerfjord. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. This is the fjord of postcards. But no picture can prepare you for the reality. An S-shaped passage, hemmed in by some of the steepest mountainsides on the western coast. A place of raw, almost violent beauty. The mountains shoulder into the sky, peaks shrouded in mist. The true icons are its waterfalls. They have names that sound like they belong in mythology. The most famous are the Seven Sisters, 7 streams plunging side by side. Sister 1, Sister 2, Sister 3, Sister 4, Sister 5, Sister 6, Sister 7. Directly opposite them is the suitor. Local legend says the suitor turned to the bottle. The fall resembles a bottle. These aren't just geography. They're characters in a story told for generations. What is it like to stand above them? We take a winding road up, each hairpin turn revealing a more staggering panorama. Hairpin turn, reveal. Another hairpin, and the view opens. From viewpoints like Flydelshjuvet or Ørnesvingen, the Eagle's Bend, the fjord becomes a winding blue ribbon. Ferries that seem so large from the water are now tiny white specks. Looking down, you can grasp the monumental forces that shape this land. It is terrifying and exhilarating, a glimpse of the sublime power of nature. The story of the fjords is a story of water in all its forms. Frozen water, glaciers carved these valleys. Liquid water, the fjord that fills them today. Falling water, these countless waterfalls giving them voice. They're fed by melting snow and ice from the high mountain plateaus. These cascades are the lifeblood of the fjords, a perpetual motion running for millennia. Their roar is the eternal soundtrack to this incredible landscape. It's, really something. While Geirangerfjord is a spectacle, the true soul of Norway is often found in places harder to reach. We leave the main ferry routes behind and head into the lesser-known arms of Sognefjord, Norway's longest, deepest fjord. Here, the crowds disappear. Silence deepens. We enter a more intimate, secluded world. Fjellandsfjord Finnafjord quieter, more subtle, but no less powerful. A piece of this epic landscape, all to yourself. The journey is part of the adventure. Small local car ferries, tiny communities along the fjord. Not tourist boats, lifelines. Connecting people in places otherwise isolated. Local farmers, school children, delivery trucks. The real living fjord. People live. People work. They raise their families' lives tied to the water and seasons. What hidden wonders lie here? A secret cove, startling turquoise water, glacial silt from an ice cap. An unmarked path, a hidden viewpoint on a rocky outcrop. A private view down the fjord, known only to a few. Moments that define a journey. Unexpected discoveries no guidebook has. The thrill of a secret kept by nature. Stepping into a forgotten time, life moves slower, deliberate. A rare peace. Watch the light change on the mountains. Listen to the water lapping the shore. The most profound experiences are often the quietest. Postcard views are stunning, but true magic is the silence and solitude of hidden depths. Ah, and you really feel that. High above the dark waters, clinging to impossibly steep and narrow ledges, we find one of the most surprising features of the fjords, the abandoned farms. Places like Skagaflo and Knivsflo in the Geirangerfjord are a testament to human resilience and determination. For centuries, families lived and worked on these tiny plots of land, hundreds of feet above the water, with no road access. Their only connection to the outside world was a steep, treacherous path or a rope ladder that they could pull up for safety. Can you imagine raising children in such a place? Life on these fjord farms was incredibly hard. The farmers had to be resourceful to survive. They cultivated small patches of soil for potatoes and for grains. They kept a few goats or sheep for milk and wool. The animals were sometimes tethered to prevent them from falling off the cliffs. The hay they harvested had to be dried on racks and then lowered down to the fjord in baskets to be transported by boat. It was a life of constant risk and relentless labor, lived on the very edge of existence, balanced between the mountain and the water. Why would anyone choose to live in such a perilous location? For some, it was about finding a piece of land they could call their own, away from the more crowded valleys. The fjord provided a reliable source of fish, and the steep mountains offered protection from the harsh winds. In the 19th century, these farms were thriving communities. But eventually, the challenges became too great. The younger generations moved away in search of easier lives, and by the mid-20th century, most of these farms were abandoned, left as silent monuments to a bygone era. Today, some of these farms are preserved as historical sites, maintained by local heritage groups. You can hike to them, a challenging but rewarding journey that offers a profound connection to the past. Walking through the old wooden buildings and looking out at the same view the farmers saw every day is a deeply moving experience. It makes you wonder about the people who lived here, their hopes, their fears, and their incredible strength. These farms are not just ruins. They are storybooks written on the mountainside, telling a powerful tale of human spirit against the odds. It's quite moving. Our final stop in this act is perhaps the most dramatic of all. We enter the Nærøyfjord, a branch of the Sognefjord, another UNESCO World Heritage Site. What makes this fjord so special is its narrowness. In some places, it is less than 1,000 feet wide, while the mountains on either side soar to over 5,000 feet. Sailing through it feels like navigating a deep canyon. The sheer scale is oppressive and awe-inspiring at the same time. The sky is reduced to a thin ribbon of light far above, and the cliffs feel so close you can almost feel their cold breath on your skin. The name Nærøyfjord is believed to derive from the Norse god Njord, the god of the sea and seafaring. It is a fitting name for a place that feels so primal, so mythical. As you glide through the still, dark water, it is easy to imagine Viking longships making this same journey 1,000 years ago. The echoes of history are palpable here. The landscape has remained virtually unchanged for millennia. The whispers of ancient sagas seem to hang in the mist that clings to the cliffs, and every waterfall seems to tell a story of trolls and giants. The fjord is a corridor of stone and water leading to the tiny village of Gudvangen, nestled at its very end. The name Gudvangen means the fields of the gods, and arriving here feels like reaching a sacred, hidden sanctuary. The village is dwarfed by the colossal mountains that surround it, a small pocket of humanity in a world dominated by nature. For centuries, this was an important link in the trade route between the east and west of Norway, a place where travelers would switch from boat to horseback to continue their journey over the mountains. As we stand in Gudvangen and look back down the narrow channel of the Nærøyfjord, we are left with a sense of wonder. We have traveled through cracks in the earth, sailed on silent mirrors, and stood in the shadow of giants. We have seen how water, in all its forms, has shaped this land and the people who call it home. The fjords are more than just beautiful scenery. They are the heart of Norway's deep history, powerful myths, overwhelming beauty. But our journey is far from over. From the edge of the sea, we must now climb. The mountains are calling. From the deep, dark fjords, our journey now turns upward. We begin to climb, leaving the sea behind to explore the mighty backbone of Norway. These are the Scandinavian mountains, a colossal range that runs the length of the country like an ancient sleeping dragon. They are not as sharp or as young as the Alps, the Himalayas, but they possess a different kind of power. These are old mountains, weathered and worn by billions of years of wind, rain, and ice. Their rounded peaks and vast, empty plateaus speak of an immense and patient geological history, a story of continents colliding and glaciers relentlessly grinding stone into submission. The ascent is a journey through changing worlds. At the base, we leave behind the lush greenness of the Fjordlands. As the road begins to climb, the forests of birch and pine start to thin. The trees become smaller, more gnarled, twisted into resilient shapes by the harsh winds. Soon the tree line is below us, and we enter a new realm, the alpine tundra. This is a world of rock, moss, and hardy wildflowers that bloom for a few short weeks in the summer. It is a stark, minimalist landscape, beautiful in its simplicity and its raw, untamed power. The air grows thinner, colder, cleaner. Here, on these high plateaus known as vide, the scale of the country truly reveals itself. You can look out and see for 100 miles in every direction a panorama of rolling hills, distant peaks, and countless shimmering lakes. It feels like standing on the roof of the world, a place of profound solitude and boundless space. This is the domain of reindeer and Arctic foxes, creatures perfectly adapted to survive in this extreme environment. For centuries, these mountains were formidable barriers, separating the east of Norway from the west, creating distinct cultures and dialects on either side. But what forces created this elevated world? It is a story of immense pressure and slow geological uplift. The mountains were first pushed up hundreds of millions of years ago when ancient continents collided. Since then, they have been in a constant battle with erosion. The most recent and dramatic sculptures were the great ice sheets of the Ice Age. They scraped the peaks, carved out the valleys, and left behind the moraines and glacial lakes that litter the landscape today. To climb into these mountains is to enter a kingdom shaped by fire and ice, a place that holds the very essence of Norway's wild spirit. We began this journey with a question: what if a place could dream? We have chased that question across this vast and breathtaking country. From the deep, silent canyons of the fjords to the sun-drenched roof of the world. We have stood in the green fire of the aurora and bathed in the golden light of a sun that never sets. We have navigated roads that dance with mountains and skip across the wild sea. We have found life clinging to impossible cliffs and thriving in the quiet corners of forgotten islands. And now, as our journey comes to an end, the answer seems clear. Norway does not just dream, it invites us to dream with it. The final answer to our question is not a single statement, but a mosaic of moments, a collection of feelings etched into our memory. It is the heart-stopping vertigo of looking down from a high ridge into two lakes of different colors. It is the profound peace of watching the midnight sun hover over a silent sea. It is the humbling roar of a waterfall plunging into a misty abyss, and the quiet resilience of a red fishing cabin standing against the storm. The dream is revealed not in one single grand vista, but in the symphony of all these experiences, from the colossal to the intimate, from the terrifying to the serene. It's a dream of power, beauty, and endurance. This land is a story, written over billions of years, and we have read but a few of its pages. It is a story of fire and ice, of immense pressure and slow, patient erosion. But it is also a story of life, of hardy trees clinging to rock, of vibrant communities thriving on the edge of the world, and of ancient myths that still whisper on the wind. To visit Norway is to step into that story, to feel its power, and to become a small part of its ongoing narrative. It is a place that reminds us of our own smallness in the face of nature's grandeur, yet simultaneously makes us feel more alive than ever before. And so we leave you here, at the edge of wonder, with one final, resonant image that captures the soul of this country. A landscape that is both a challenge and an invitation. A place that begs to be explored, to be felt, to be understood. The journey we have shared is just one of countless paths through this magical realm. The real discovery, the real adventure, begins when you decide to find your own. What dreams will you find, waiting for you, in the land where mountains meet the sky and the sea slices into the heart of the stone? The dream is real. Go and live it.